Mahendra Guru, the Brahmas for Success. Today's session of Speed Test Hi-Fi is about the English section of ST01 CWEPO Pre. So let's start with it, but before we start it, here's a reminder for all of you to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't done it so far. You have to download our app from the Android store as well as the Windows store, and definitely you can like our FB page that's there on Facebook. So let's start with the questions. See, here's the first question for you. A 10% decline in Indian equity markets since the devaluation of the Chinese yuan has not only shaken investor confidence but has also narrowed the valuation gap between performers and non-performers. Did you see any error over here? I don't think so. But let's just have a look once again in order to check it. A 10% decline in the Indian equity market since the devaluation of Chinese yuan has not only shaken investor confidence but has also narrowed the valuation gap between performers and non-performers. Any error? No. So what we can do, we can mark number 5 as the no error and we can just move on. Well, before we go to the next one, let's just clean this up. Now here's the next one. See, to cater to the growing trend in e-commerce, the Payback, okay, now Payback is an organization over here. Payback has launched a new and revamped mobile application offering 24/7 marketing solutions. Well, I tell you, I found something fishy in the first part. Let's just have a look at it once again. To cater to the growing trend in e-commerce. Well, by the way, over here, it's more of the sense of related to e-commerce. And when you want to show the sense of relation to something, you better use the preposition of for the same. Hence, over here, of would have been a better option instead of in. The sentence, the correct sentence would read, to cater to the growing trend of e-commerce, Payback has launched a new and revamped mobile application offering 24/7 marketing solutions. See, hence the answer was in the first part, so we should mark error in the first one. Well, you just saw an error of preposition, and that's why I tell you that the most important chapters of grammar are preposition, verb, tense, conjunction, and articles. So let's have a look at the next one. See, here's a question of misspelled words. Some colleges have set up small tutorial groups for closely relationship, something fishy with this, between professors and students. See, now in misspelled words or misappropriate words, you actually get a few highlighted or underlined words that are there primarily, and they can be used in a misappropriate way. So you have to check it out whether they are misappropriate or not. And over here, by the way, closely did not fit. It didn't seem appropriate at all. Well, let's just have to once again. Some colleges have set up small tutorial groups for close relationship should be there and not closely. Hence, we can mark number 3 as the error part, and that's why it should be close, not closely. Now, if we use close, the sentence will become, some colleges have set up small tutorial groups for close relationships between professors and students. So that's the correct one. Now, let's move to the next one. See, now, before we go to the next one, see, over here. Now, he was wearing shabby faded trousers, which he explained were called jeans and costed a fortune. He was wearing shabby faded trousers, which he explained were called jeans and costed a fortune. So now see, over here, when you look at this question, you can get confused because definitely when one says, when one's talking about jeans, it's more of a plural sense. But then again, see, have a look at the sentence properly. It's about trousers, it's not about jeans. Hence, what's the suitable one over here? It shouldn't be were, it should be was. Yes, the correct sentence will become, he was wearing shabby faded trouser, which he explained was called jeans and costed a fortune. Well, that means the error is going to be in the third one, and this is the misappropriate word over here. Now, let's move to the next one. I hope that you were able to understand and get the logic behind these questions. Let's move on. Okay, now see, here's a reading comprehension for you, by the way. And I've always told you that before reading comprehension, before reading the passage, get the questions first. We have chosen a couple of questions over here that were pretty tough, in fact, for the students to crack. So let's just have a look at them. Which of the following is not true in context of the passage? Well, this is one of the questions that you cannot answer correctly, and you have to read the passage first. So that's the thing. Now let's have a look at over here. Which of the following is true in context of the passage? So now see, this is not true, this is true. For both of these, you have to read the passage. So let's just get to it right away. Okay, Now see, here it starts from. While most of India sweltered this extended summer, the people charged with delivering electricity to the country barely broke a sweat. Power outages through June and July averaged 36,000 megawatt. Actually, that's a lot in fact. Roughly 18% of India's installed generating capacity of 2,02,980 megawatts. Outages across the country routinely cause 16-hour blackouts in cities. Nearly 25% of India's population, over 300 million, still has no access to electricity. That contrasts sharply with those in power. The VIP precinct of Lutyens, Delhi, for example, never suffers power outages. Alright, let's move on. Unbridled power theft, often with official connivance, is a major cause of the chronic electricity shortage that bedevils India, hurting farmers, industrialists, and traders alike. The other cause is bad governance. Permission and distribution (T&D) losses are over 32% of installed generating capacity compared to the global average of 10%. So in fact, we got a lot of information over here. Let's move on. Shortage of coal, again, a direct result of misgovernance of our natural resources, has worsened the crisis. Mumbai's island city is one of the few urban areas in India where there have been no power cuts stretching back decades. Now, the reason: a unique islanding system pioneered by Tata Power. If the Western regional power grid breaks down, the system automatically isolated from the rest of the grid, from the rest of the grid, ensuring uninterrupted power to the island city. The Tatas, along with the Reliance, supply, of course, power to Delhi as well, but in the absence of an islanding system, and Delhi's higher incidence of power theft outages remain endemic in the capital. So some more information over here regarding power thefts and all. And here's the last part. The key to solving India's power crisis lies in 4 areas. First, rapidly adding more generating capacity across country. 2, reducing T&D losses including theft from 32% to nearer 10% to global average. 3, reforming the gold mining sector to ensure steady fuel supply to power plants. 4, for refinancing bankrupt state electricity boards who today don't have the funds to even maintain their equipment, a primary cause of unscheduled power outages. Okay, now, so here was the passage. Now let's have a look at the questions. See, here's the question for us. Which of the following is not true in context of the passage? Okay, let's have a look at this. Shortage of coal is the only result of misgovernance of our natural resources. Well, when we talk about misgovernance, this was not the only one. But let's just have a look further as well. Reducing T&D losses from 32% to nearly 10% global average can help in solving the problem of power crisis in India. Actually, it's one of 2 facts. The VIP precinct of Lutyens, Delhi never suffered power outages. Well, this is again a true one. Now, Tata's, along with Reliance, supply power to Delhi. It's a true one. Okay, now and all of the above. Well, by the way, when we talk about misgovernance, then shortage of coal was not the only one. T&D losses were also there. Hence, the first one is not true because this is not the only result of misgovernance. Now, let's move on. Let's go to the next one right now. Okay, see, here's the next one for you, by the way. Which of the following is true in context of the passage? Well, here's the options. They are: A, India's power crisis can be solved if we follow an islanding system in all our cities. Alright, the next one of the reasons of Delhi facing power crisis is higher incidences of power thefts, because actually this one is true, B is true considering the passage. Bad governance has also led to shortage of electricity. Once again, is true because of T&D losses were there. Then over 300 million people of India do not have access to electricity. This again is true according to the passage. Rural India doesn't receive even 10% of total electricity. See, this was not true according to passage. So when we talk about true in context of the passage, we can see that B, C and D are actually true according to the given passage, and hence option 2 over here. Only B, C and D. This is the correct answer as far as true in context of passage is concerned. I hope you were able to get the logic till now. Okay, now let's move on. Let's go towards the next question. See, here's the next one. Now this is actually a rearrangement, by the way. So we'll have to arrange it, and then we'll answer the question that follow this. Okay, as a result, the non-stop tensions and anxieties at work often result in health-related problems. The truth is we cannot change the world of work. We spend at least half of our waking hours at work, alright? Now we have therefore to take charge and transform the way in which we respond to our work environment. So how can we control these problems and perform at work? However, we can change the way we feel and deal with various situations. So now in fact, I suppose all of us, we just had a look at this particular rearrangement. By the way, always remember, I also told you in the previous video as well, on the videos of rearrangement, that we have to get pairs first. So logical pairs have to be formed, and that's the key actually. So over here there are 6 sentences, so we can actually form 3 logical pairs, and then we're gonna align them in the end. See, when we talk about the independent sentence, then we just had a look at this, we have therefore we spend at least half of our waking hours at work. See, it's all about spending hour at work environment, tension and anxieties, how to deal with that and all that. So it's all about the work environment. And when we look at these sentences, the independent one is right here. See, we spend, because this is where from the matter started. Okay, we spend at least half our waking hours at work. So definitely we can say this is the first one. Now, what's the next one? As a result, the non-stop tensions and anxieties at work often result in health-related problems. Well, the thing is, now if you have a look, I'd say both of these are connecting right away. Why? Because, see, we spend at least half of our working hours at work. Alright, then, now when we do that, as a result, the non-stop tensions and anxieties at work often result in health-related problems. I suppose you agree with me that these have actually formed a pair, right? Now let's move on. Let's have a look at the other options, other sentences. The truth is we cannot change the world of work. No, not suitable. We have therefore to take change and transform. No, once again not suitable. So how can we control these problems and perform at work? Alright. See, over here we talk about problems, and relating to the same one we have this particular sentence E as well. So how can we control these problems of health problems and anxiety and all that, and perform at work? So this is going to be our third sentence. So this is over here is the third sentence. Now let's have a look at which can be the next one after this. Okay, now the left ones are B, D and E. The truth is we cannot change the world of work. How can we control these problems and perform at work? The truth is we cannot change at world of work. So over here we start discussing how can we do what, and over here actually in B we analyze what cannot be changed and what can be changed. So over here there's a question how to do it, and over here is the first statement at how to do it. Hence this is going to be a pair of statement E. So we can say that B is the next one after E. Now the dilemma comes between D and F, which is going to be fifth and which is going to be the sixth one. We have, see, last one over here, the truth is we cannot change the world of work. That means we can change something else. Let's have a look at this one. We have therefore to take charge and transform the way in which we respond to our work environment. Alright, what's the next one? However, we can change the way we feel and deal with various situations. Now see, over here it said, the truth is we cannot change the world of work, and over here it reads, however, we can change the way. So over here, now this is something that's contradictory to this one. So that's the reason we are going to mark this one, because over here we cannot change the world of work. Then what can we do? We can change the way we feel and deal with various situations. So that's why this is going to be the fifth one. That leaves D as the sixth statement of this particular rearrangement. So what's the rearrangement that we just arranged? Now you have to repeat with me that. Alright, that was C is the first statement, then A is the next one. Then we can say it was D, right? No, it's E actually. Alright, so E is the third statement, then it's going to be B, and then it's F, and what's the last one? It's D. So that's the thing. This is our order, C, A, E, B, F, D. Alright, so let's just move to the next one, C, A, E, B, F, D. So let me just write that order over here, else I might just forget it. So C, A, E, now B, F, D. So which of the following would be the fourth sentence statement after the rearrangement? Our fourth one is B, and first D, second C, third A, fourth E. Okay, now see, here's B for us. So this is actually the fourth sentence after rearrangement. Now let's go to the next one. See, here's the next question for you. Which of the following would be the second statement after rearrangement? Our second statement is A. Okay, now first is F, second is A, right here. Just mark it. Correct answer. Let's move on. So I hope that you were able to get these questions so far and you got the logic behind them. Now let's just solve the rest two questions that are there. Alright. Now, see, here's a close test for us, by the way, and we can also have a look at the options if we want. So here are the options, by the way, and let's just go back now. One reason, okay, now see, there are two options. Either we can just start from there itself, or what we can do is we can just right away go towards the option which is actually the better way that you would have seen. I would have told you in the video of close test. So let's just get to it right away. There is widespread blank space that the Indian bond market will see a large blank space of foreign portfolio funds once the Fed start hiking. Now let's have a look at this. The first option, it's exception, commotion, reflection, expectation, accumulation. It's better we just have a look over there. There is widespread blank space that the Indian bond market. There is widespread exception. No, not suitable. Widespread commotion doesn't really matter over here. Now the next one, reflection. Does it match? I don't think it doesn't match. So let's just cut this one. Expectation can be there. What do you say? It can be there, right? There is widespread blank space expectation. There is widespread expectation that the Indian bond market. Yes, it seems suitable. So let's just get this one right away. Alright, so it's going to be number 2 for number 9. Now let's move on. Okay, here are the options. Now what's the passage for this one? The Indian market will see a large of blank space of foreign portfolio funds once the Feds start hiking. Foreign portfolio funds once the Feds start hiking. Alright. Now, for this one, we should have a look at a few of the previous lines. This include increasing the Fed funds rate from the near zero level and selling bonds at other securities bought as part of QE program. So that's the thing. All right, let's just have a look. And we'll see a large blank space of foreign portfolio funds when the Fed start hiking. Let's have a look at this. Now, Exodus is actually the one that's most suitable over here. Let's just have a look at the other options. Regime, discrimination doesn't really matter right now. Tendency doesn't really matter right now. Now it can either be exodus or it can be influx. But the thing is that once the Fed starts hiking their rates, that means there's going to be some exclusive change of the conversion ratio between the currencies of India and the US dollars, of course. So that's the reason we should go with exodus, and this one is the correct answer for number 10. So that's the thing. Now for number 9 it was number 2, and for number 10 it's going to be number 1, exodus. So I hope that you were able to get your answers correctly, and I hope that you enjoyed at this session of Hi-Fi 10. So that was all, by the way, and I hope you've already liked the video though. So here's the thing about subscribing to our YouTube channel. If you haven't done it so far, do like our FB page. That's the name of Mahendras. I suppose you're following us as well on Instagram. Although following people is not a good deed, but definitely following us is a very good deed. And you've also got the app from the Google Play Store and the Windows Store. In the end, your success is our success. Thank you.